Hello guys, welcome back to my video again. I'm Francisca Tricia. So in this video I'm going to discuss about language acquisition development of baby stage. Okay, so let's check it out. Before we're going to our discussion regarding to psycholinguistics. So psycholinguistics examines the processes of how the brain works when producing and perceiving both written and spoken discourse. So the significance of psycholinguistics has a broad aspects of language, since it provides the model that describes how language is processed in our brain. So basically, psycholinguistics is commonly divided into two words, psychology and linguistics. Then it's basically meant to be psychology of words. So we are moving on to our main term. The human's process of acquiring the ability of communication and comprehend the language is what we call by language acquisition. It involves such specific requirements, including the structures, rules, and representation. Talking about language acquisition is not far from dealing with phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, and an extensive vocabulary. But we're not going to define all of that. There are two major parts of getting deeper the language acquisition, such as speech perception and speech production. It usually begins with the raw speech sounds themselves. The systematic nature of speech sounds can be approached from two complementary points of view, phonetics and phonology. The definition of phonetics is concerned with the raw speech sounds and how they are produced, and phonology is concerned with speech sounds as a system of language. And the speech production includes selections of words, the organization of relevant grammatical forms, and the articulation. Speech production can be spontaneous, such as when a person creates the words of a conversation, reactive, such as they name a picture or read aloud about a written word, or imitative. This distinction is put out as in phonetic segments point to any systematic difference in pronunciation. On the other hand, the phonological segments point only to those that make a difference to meaning. Just given the example, the distinction of pronunciation signals a difference in meaning. Pill and kill. So P and K are different phonetic segments. Thus, they manifest two different phonological segments. By discussing language acquisition, there are three reasons why it's being analyzed from baby stage. The three reasons are: the baby detects patterns in language input. Secondly, infants exploit the statistical properties of the input, enabling them to detect and use distributional and probabilistic information contained in ambient language to identify higher order units. Thirdly, infant perception is altered, literally warped by experience to enhance language perception. No speaker of any language perceives acoustic reality. In each case, perception is altered in the service of language. So there are four stages of language acquisitions, such as the babbling stage, holographic stage, two-word stage, and the telegraphic stage. Initially, babies perceptually sort vowels that vary across talkers and intonation contours, as well as syllables that vary in their initial consonant. The first stage is the babbling stage. It's the stage where the baby could recognizes the mom's voice. It usually happens from the birth until 8 months. and around 5 to 8 months, the baby is trying to utter such vocals. Afterward, from 8 to 12 months, the baby can grasp more control on body and language and gesturing. And the stage is usually when the baby is trying to babbling or cooing. And it can be seen in the next video.
I love you. I love you.
O que você fez hoje? É mesmo?
Da da da.
So now, the holophrastic stage, or we can call it one-word stage. It happens when the baby can utter one-word sentence. And it usually contain the predicate. For example, in Indonesian, when a baby indicates to drink, they will say atu mimim and indicates sleeping, bobo and indicates makan or eating, it's mama. And you can see the other example in the next video.
For real? I couldn't believe that. I'm supposed to believe that? I don't.
Can you say mommy?
Mommy.
Can you say daddy?
Daddy.
There is the third stage. It is the two-word stage. The range of age is happens around 1.5 to 2 years old. The stage happens to create such two-word sentences which consist of one word for predicate and another for subject. So, for example, when the baby see a cat is walking, then it will say, yeah, the cat walk. And when they see a monkey is climbing the tree, then they will say like, monkey climb, and so on. And the other example you can see in the next video.
Tell me again.
It's what is on movie.
A lot of girls?
Yeah, on movie.
Like how many girls?
Like this 7.
And they're what are they?
7, 8 years. Some teeth fell out.
Whose teeth fell out?
My own teeth.
So the last is the telegraphic stage. It is the last stage of a language acquisition. It's called telegraphic since it's displayed as similar as telegraph. The range of age is happened around 2.5 years onwards. It contains quite information for a good sentence. For instance, Daddy eat rice. And what her name? And then like the baby is looking at the boy playing a ball. He playing balls. And then yeah, and some words like they want to say soap, but they say it like soap. And when they say they want to run, they can say run. So another example you can see in the next video.
Well, once upon a time, I was walking in the jungle, and I stopped. And when I stopped, I just heard two snapping branches, but wide.
Hold on. What is this? What is this thing that you want from Santa?
So it's kind of wide, but her legs are filled with white spots and white stuff and black stuff.
And what do we do with this carrot with the grass on it?
We just eat it. We don't eat the grass. When we're done eating the carrot, we put the grass in the garbage, just like we do with strawberries.
Language acquisition research is important for our understanding of man in general and of the intellectual development of the child in particular. It addresses major questions about the nature of man, questions that have generated a great deal of lively and often acrimonious debate over the centuries amongst philosophers and psychologists. So I took the research of Patricia Cole. In her research, entitled A New View of Language Acquisition, it is deduced 6 principles of a new view of language acquisition. There are the first one: infants initially pass the basic units of speech, allowing them to acquire higher order units created by their combinations. Second, the developmental process is not a selectionist one in which innately specified options are selected on the basis of experience. The third one, rather a perceptual learning process unrelated its exposure to language, during which infants detect patterns, exploit statistical properties, and are perceptually altered by the experiences. The fourth, vocal imitation links speech perception and production early, and auditory, visual, and motor information are co-registered for speech categories. The fifth, adults addressing infants unconsciously alter their speech to match infants' learning strategies, and this is instrumental in supporting infants' initial mapping of speech. And the sixth principle is the critical period for language is influenced not only by time, but by the neural commitment that results from experience. So we are going to the conclusion. All in all, the language acquisition can be recovered from each language. Input the rules by which people in the community communicate with. Language is not merely a definite model to employ such communications throughout our lives. Therefore, every possible aspect of circumstances which can affect the language acquisition of humans' lives have such vast variety of comprehending the language itself. It will be developed over time as long as the individual concerned much to it. So, yeah, that's it. Yeah, goodbye is hard. So that's the end of the video. I hope you understand. Yeah, just a little bit is okay. And yeah, see you next time. Bye.